You're listening to the Less Life Podcast, featuring Juki Vera and Kenny Ramirez. Less Life, more vida.
What's up, everybody?
Welcome back to the Less Life Podcast. I am
What's up, everybody?
Kenny. I'm tired of introducing myself, but if you don't know my name by now,
My name is my name.
my name is my name. Fuck, I fucking forgot my name for a second.
What
Kenny
is your
Ramirez.
name? Oh,
Kenny
yeah,
Ramirez.
let's tell him again.
Name's Kenny Ramirez. If you don't know it yet,
If you don't know his name, then
If you
please
don't
watch
know-
our other videos and
Yeah.
you'll understand why we're talking about this.
you
in
should
the
know it
beginning.
by now. I mean, the fucking intro introduces us. I don't know why I keep introducing
This
myself.
is true. This is
The
true.
intro basically says our name, but they don't put the face to the name. But
It's okay.
yeah, tell the people who
They
you are.
gotta watch us. Tell the people who you are, and let's tell the people what happened this week in our lovely state of New York.
What the hell happened this week?
We got the mandate
Oh, I thought you were talking about the 20th anniversary,
for what?
9/11.
Well, that too. God bless 9/11 anniversary. But a couple days after,
Yeah, not to get into it, but yeah, no, I remember that day.
what
clearly.
happened to you on 9/11?
I mean, it's nothing eventful. I was 7 at the time. I was in the 2nd grade,
Okay.
and I remember everyone in my class rushing to the window, being like, "There's a building on fire! There's a building on fire!"
You saw it from your building?
From the school building. I couldn't see it because everyone was at the window. So I'm jumping like, where, what building? And then someone comes in the room, Kenny, your mother's here to pick you up. And I was like, why is my mom picking me up at 9 a.m? Like school just started. I guess I got a doctor's appointment or something, right?
That's why.
So-
that's the only reason you get a pickup is for doctor's appointments.
So yeah, so like my mom's like rushing and like power walking, like pulling my arm, and I'm like, "What's going on?" She's like, "Hay un ataque terrorista," and I'm like, "What's that mean? What's a terrorist
For real, they
attack?"
talk to us like we know this shit.
Yeah, so like everyone was at work, and my mom was home at the time because she was pregnant with my sister. Shout out to Kimchi.
Kimchi.
Yeah, Kimchi was in the womb when that happened. So my mom was the only one home, so she had to pick up me, my brother, and my 2 cousins.
Heard.
So we go across the street to Bryan High School to get my cousin Jesus. I remember that being a pain in the ass because they're like, write the name of the person you're picking up on this post-it, and we were literally waiting in the auditorium, and the kids would come out onto the stage. It was like a fucking like an auction. Like who's picking this one up? Raise your hand.
God.
Over here, that's my kid.
That's so weird.
And we get my cousin, and I remember my older brother Kevin. When looking back at it, he's like, "Yeah, you guys picked me up last," and my mom's like, "Yeah, because you were the closest one to home, so we got you last." and I was questioning the logic. I was like, "But like, if it was me, if you're closer, then I'd go to the
grab 'em right
I
away,
would go
right?
to the closest person."
All right, you want to
first.
hear my story?
Anyway, I'm not done yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad.
And yeah, and so like, when I get home, I think we're all watching live, and I think I saw one of the towers collapse live. And my father was in the city that day, actually.
Were you scared? A lot of people were.
I mean, I was too young to comprehend what the fuck was going on.
For sure.
But my dad was luckily in Soho, and my mother said he was having a great time standing on the roof, photographing everything. Like, he's witnessed everything from his eyes.
Damn.
And he had a stack of photos. And if you flip them fast enough, the towers go down. And
Also, he took them all like.
yeah,
consistently.
he took a lot of photos.
He has them still.
That's the thing. He misplaced them. He can't find them.
Damn.
There
You
were-
think people buy those? I think so.
Hell
right?
yeah, people would buy those. I feel like my dad could have made some money selling those photos.
To like a newspaper.
So yeah,
or
you
a
know,
company like
my
that.
dad was just spectating the whole thing.
A lot of people were.
So I didn't get. My dad was away the weekend of the 20th anniversary. I wanted to ask him how it was being in the city that day. I remember him getting home really late that day. I don't know how he got home. He wasn't in Queens this weekend. He was in Hershey with my brothers, so I couldn't really ask him. But yeah, yeah, he was like, I think the only one of my family members in the city that day. And my father goes, "Oh, I was offered a position as a handyman in 9/11 on the World Trade Center." It's like, imagine if your dad took that job. I was like, all right, whatever. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, I know about a lot of people that were working around there or were off that day, or a lot of crazy stories. So the way your brother felt is kind of how I felt. So I was in 4th grade, and all I remember is on the loudspeaker, the principal just, all teachers, please report to the office immediately. And they'd be like, all right, you little Stephanie, go to the front of the class and make sure nobody's talking. Because that's what they do, right? They're like, oh, write whoever talks, write their name down. So whatever, the teacher leaves.
What a little snitch.
I know, right? I went to private school, so that's how it was until 6th grade. So the teacher comes back and she takes all of us and puts us all in one room with the other kids in the 4th grade, because I was in the 4th grade. All of a sudden, kids are just leaving left and right. They put on this movie. I forgot what movie it was, whatever. Can so-and-so come down to the office? Can so-and-so come down to the office? Like, just every minute, somebody's leaving. At the end of the day comes, I'm like, yo, what the hell is going on? Like, why is everybody leaving? And then finally, my uncle picks up me, my brother, and my 2 cousins, because the 4 of us went to school together. And he's telling us what happened. Like, oh, it was a terrorist attack. And I'm just like, what? Like, I don't understand.
What does that mean? Exactly my question as a kid. What the hell is it?
There's something he said, but I can't say on camera. But it's funny as fuck. I won't say it because it's funny, but it's fucked up. But I'm sorry I have to mention it like that. But I'm just thinking about the way he said it. It's just so funny.
I feel like maybe it might have been something racist.
It kind of was, but it was in humor. But it was just bad timing to say it. But like looking back, I was like, yo, my uncle's a dumbass. Why would he say that to us? Like we started freaking out pretty much. But as I got older, I was like, holy shit, I didn't get picked up. They didn't take me out of class. Like me, my cousins, and my brother were all picked up at the end of the day, which was like at 4:00. Damn. And I'm like, damn, they didn't love me. They didn't love us. They didn't care about us. They just left us.
I mean, if my mom wasn't home pregnant, then I probably would have not gotten picked up because my dad worked in the city and.
Okay, so everybody that I know was working, like in my family.
Of course, it was 9 a.m.
But they didn't. Nobody picked us up. I was like, damn. Like everybody else left work. Like why didn't they? Like I fell in love. Like looking back at it, I'm like, damn. Like they didn't pick me up. But it is what it is. Now I understand. It's kind of crazy and scary because the next day it was so smoky in New York, right? Do you remember that? Or you don't? I remember. I walked outside and the smoke smell.
You were in the city. I was in Queens.
So no, I was in Jackson Heights.
Oh,
I remember going to school in the morning. As soon as I walked out of my house, the air was a little foggy and thick.
In Queens?
Yes, bro.
Damn, I can't remember.
It wasn't like too thick. It wasn't, but you could see some fog in Jackson Heights, and the smell. You can smell smoke everywhere. And I was like, damn, that's strong. But I understood what happened. My parents explained to me what happened.
I saw pictures, man. The dust from the explosion like covered the entire city.
Yeah, it was bad.
And it's crazy because last night I was flipping through TikTok, as I usually do, and I came across videos of live coverage of Howard Stern as it happened, 9/11.
Oh shit! And
then then this guy picks up he talks to this fan on the phone, and he's like, "Oh, those like." This I'm just repeating what somebody says.
I'm listening. Yeah.
Like watching this, I was like, "Oh, this is literally how the racism towards Arab groups."
Yes, that was bad. It was bad. Did you remember what happened on Steinway?
So some guy on the phone on Howard Stern was like, "I bet it was those fucking towel heads. We're gonna bomb the shit out of them." And I was like, "Damn, this is literally the birth of hatred towards the Muslim people."
Yeah. And that's where it started.
And then and then that's literally how it started. And it's just made me think of the last 20 years. Trump, the Muslim ban. Just all this racism and hatred towards that group of people, all because of these assholes.
I remember, not the next day we were off from school, but the following, my parents, I think, they took me to the city with them because my parents worked in the city, and there were stops everywhere. There were cops everywhere. Steinway Street, cops everywhere, flooded with cops. The 59th Street Bridge was cops, and it's definitely, they were searching everybody in the area, because of what was happening. And yeah, there was a lot of racism and hatred, and it was pretty disgusting, but it was a crazy week. I remember that week. It was pretty scary. Everybody at school was really nervous. I remember the principal was like telling us what to do if something happened. And it was like that for a week, and then it kind of calmed down a little bit. But of course, 20 years later,
I can't remember the days after it.
You were probably too young, yeah.
I can just remember the day of, because that's.
Yeah.
I can just remember the day of.
It's a sad day, man. It really is.
And
shout out all the firefighters, policemen,
first
people that help,
responders.
first responders for sure. But what I originally was going to get to, thank you for bringing up the 9/11 thing. It's actually really nice to talk about.
Yeah, because everyone remembers, and it doesn't matter how young you are, everyone remembers that day. Like,
Do you think kids in other schools, like in other states, were taken out? Probably, right?
it's funny.
I should probably ask.
I was talking to a coworker who grew up in California, and they weren't getting out of school, but like, no, the focus. Like, I remember he told me in high school, he was in high school in California at the time, and they weren't really learning that day. They were just watching live coverage of the whole thing. You know,
At school?
yeah.
I think everybody was doing that, but I mean, I don't see a reason why they'd get taken out of school in other states, but I'm sure some people did it.
Yeah.
Come on, billions of people worldwide, and especially in this country. I'm
Like
sure
my
other
my
people were
mom was
taken out.
panicking, like kind of like pulling my arm. The terrorist attacks.
Like,
and
what the hell's happening?
She said bombs, and I was like, "Oh fuck, they're gonna bomb the school!" Like, I was like, "Holy shit!"
I could picture you like complaining, like, "Why are you pulling me?"
Yeah, no, I was so confused. I was so
Of course, you got picked up from school. You're not going to the doctors.
like, I'm getting picked up. I assume I'm going to the doctors or something, and my mother's just panicking, and I didn't understand what was going on until I got home and saw the television.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
you're like really thinking about this.
yeah, no, because like
You got really quiet on me there.
no, I'm trying to think if I ever like walked past the building, but I was way too young, so I don't even remember if I ever walked past that building or ever saw the.
I don't
in
really like.
person.
I don't really like going down there. To be honest with you,
I used to go to Pace, so I was very close.
I
to
went.
World
I
Trade
went there
Center.
once because I had an audition like down the block from there once, and I just felt weird being there. Like, it's a beautiful building, it's a beautiful memorial, but I just didn't feel right being there. I was like, it feels like a Target. That's how I feel when I'm there. Like,
Yeah.
it's just.
And it's crazy that they didn't see it coming because the World Trade Center got bombed in 1993.
Well, that's a whole different topic and conversation.
Yeah, I guess so.
especially in the political world and like conspiracy theorists' eyes, right? Because I'm not gonna get into that. I don't know. I don't study it much. I try not to. I don't like getting my head clouded with all these extra things and ideas and facts.
Yeah, so
But
like
it's-
last night
yeah.
when I saw the Howard Stern thing, my dumb ass started looking at YouTube videos at 3 a.m. Different angles of the second plane hitting. I don't know if you heard of the famous picture called The Falling Man.
Yeah, of course.
The Falling Man.
He's
And
like
it's,
diving down.
Yeah, so then I was like, oh,
He wasn't the only one though.
No, he wasn't the only one, but like...
It's
but-
it's definitely the most memorable one because of the angle that the photo was taken.
Yeah, and so I was like, "Fuck! Why am I watching this shit at 3 a.m? Because I don't like to go to sleep with those dark images in my head. So I just had to watch funny ass videos just to because I feel like if you go to
It's
sleep,
dark.
if you go to sleep with those dark thoughts,
Yeah.
it's not.
It's not the best way to go.
It's
to
not.
You
the
won't
best.
sleep well.
Yeah,
for sure.
exactly. So yeah, no. But where were you going with originally? I guess I took it to.
It's
a whole
okay.
nother-
No,
I
this
took
is
a
fine.
angle.
This is what we do on the Less Life podcast. We talk about what comes up in our minds, and we
It's
go
just
with it.
it's crazy because eventually there's gonna be generations that haven't lived it. Like say my sister, my younger brothers and sisters.
They won't know what the heck it's
They
about.
will not know. They will not know. So we know how real it was because we lived it. I mean, I wasn't in the city again for sure, so maybe I didn't witness the horrors and for myself. Oh Jesus,
That's not alcohol, is it?
no.
No alcohol today.
This is my first alcohol-free episode because I'm out of my Trulies and my hard.
He's an alcoholic, so he's out right now.
But yeah, no. So yeah, there's.
I think we should change the topic. You seem a little like down now.
No,
talking about
because
this.
I'm not down because I'm thinking like I had another coworker. I was like, yeah. So you remember 9/11? And she's like, oh, I was only one at the time, so I don't really remember it much. So yeah, so like I said, we're gonna be the ones telling the stories, and if you get what I mean.
I do know. Like, we're the ones that are gonna share the stories and put them in books and like make sure all these articles.
I was a fucking kid then.
yeah.
Did not fully comprehend what's
Some
going
people
on.
don't get it, but I remember that day, and it was a weird day. I hope we don't ever get to live something like that ever again. I hope we. I just don't know what to say about it. I don't want to see that happen again, especially in this city, the most beautiful city in the world, the biggest city in the
we
world.
don't need that happening again.
Not here, but
I don't think it can happen. Well, I don't want to.
Anything can happen.
I mean, our security when it comes to airplanes is a lot more strict than it was back then. The probability is less.
It is because
I guess
of, like,
that's
the security that we have.
The probability is less. And you ever seen the movies World Trade Center and United 93?
I seen United 93.
Those were both very good movies, but I remember at the time, I remember reading articles when the trailers played during the I guess before it came out, like people were outraged
About the movies?
Yeah, that they were.
They make movies about everything, though.
But I guess it was kind of pretty soon, because these movies were made like I think 4 or 5 years after it happened.
Let's see. No,
I remember. Yeah,
no way.
They were both in 06. I looked it up on the 20th anniversary.
That's the one with Nicolas Cage, right?
Yeah, both United 93 and World Trade Center came out in 06. And
yeah, 2006. Oh, I didn't know Oliver Stone directed it.
I remember where I read it at the time, because at the time I used to read like the newspaper a lot, like the movie section, because that's where the showtimes would be posted. Yeah,
I went online.
Well, my father would always like bring the Daily News, slam it on the table, and be like, check the showtimes.
That's funny.
And I'd be in the car, we're like, College Point Multiplex Cinemas, 9 o'clock. Okay, it's sold out.
You're right.
Look at the newspaper again. Kaufman. But anyways, yeah. So I remember which I don't remember which one of those two movies where the trailers played, and I guess there was 9/11 survivors in the theater or family members of victims, and I guess seeing those trailers triggered them. Pissed them off. They complained to the movie theaters, and I think it was at the point where like those posters had to be removed from the theaters.
I did not know this.
And reading World Trade Center, I was reading on the Wikipedia actually at the movie's premiere. Rudy Giuliani was there. Some other big names were there. And that was actually...
It's a good movie.
World Trade Center was a pretty damn good movie.
I like 93.
United 93.
It actually got me very angry watching it. Like when I was watching, I was getting really upset, like, of what was happening. But
yeah, I think the thing about the United 93 movie was that there's a lot of accounts of what happened on that flight, because a lot of the passengers were making phone calls to their families. Like, as they interviewed their families, and they were able to piece together what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And that, I think the ending where like they revolt against the hijackers was
like to take down the plane earlier before I got to Washington, right?
That shit was very intense. Yeah. That was very well done.
That's great acting.
That was a very well done scene.
Yeah, it was. Because you felt that in your heart. You felt it in your spine. Yeah, definitely. It was tough to watch, but I enjoyed it. It was very entertaining.
Yeah.
Still, like, aside from all the horror and the sadness,
it's a good tribute.
For sure.
There's another.
I'm sure they'll make more too.
There's another 9/11 center. You ever seen this movie called Remember Me with Robert Pattinson?
I've heard of it, but I've never seen it.
I mean, it's been 10 years, so I'm gonna spoil it.
No. Don't do this, because what if I might watch it? This kid loves to spoil everything.
It's been 10 years.
I'm probably gonna watch it.
But
Let's not do it.
Now, but correlating it with 9/11, I'm already giving you a spoiler.
No, I don't want to know. I already have an idea of where you're going with it. I don't want to know. We're gonna skip that. But don't do it to me. Don't do it. Just leave it alone.
But other than that, they really haven't made much movies.
But we always get movies about like real life events.
Another 9/11 movie that comes to mind was a really good one with Adam Sandler. Reign Over Me with Don Cheadle. It's about a guy grieving the death of his wife and child because they were on one of the planes that hit the towers.
Okay.
It's basically just him.
Yeah, I've never seen that one.
Those are the only like 4 movies I can think of relating to that day. They don't. Other than that, I don't think they've made other films revolving around 9/11.
But I think they will eventually.
Oh, of course. It's like it's a historical moment.
Okay. Well, let's see what happens in the future.
But yeah,
But
so
what I
that-
wanted to get to originally.
I was just
thank you for the 9/11 tribute.
I was just gonna end that with everyone remembers where they were that day.
For sure.
Everyone. Doesn't matter how
But
old you are.
where I wanted to get to was this couple of days ago, actually this week, we saw the New York City vaccine mandate go into effect. I've already experienced some craziness with it at work.
Really?
Yeah, I've seen people complain. Some people still want certain things to happen a certain way, and I get it respectfully. But
And the thing is,
the gyms are very empty now.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. I love it.
You saw that?
Yeah, man.
But doesn't that worry you?
And I don't know if
That you were at the gym and there were so many people there that were wearing their masks, but
not wearing their masks actually.
But you know the crazy thing is this. About a month or two ago, people stopped wearing. It was like 2 months ago, actually. 2 months ago, people stopped wearing their mask, right, at the gym. Am I right?
Yeah,
2 months, because they said, "Oh, if you're vaccinated, you don't have to wear your mask." But everybody took their masks off, except me. I still wear my mask. And I was like, okay, all these people are vaccinated. And then I go on Google. It's like over 70% of New York City is double dosed vaccinated.
yeah.
And
But that 30% can still be a huge number.
So this is what I'm thinking. I'm like, okay, so most of these people in the gym are vaccinated. This is my assumption. And then this mandate goes into effect. I go into gym earlier this week. And I'm like, damn, there's nobody in here. Or there's not that many people in here. And I'm like, all right, I'm hitting my stuff. I'm like, damn, it's kind of empty. I'm like, oh, wait. They're not here because they're not vaccinated. And I'm like, wow, I was working out with all these people around me.
Dirty, unvaccinated
And
sluts.
I'm just like, wow, it's kind of freaky. Not freaky like scary, but it's like, you guys at least wear your mask if you're not really vaccinated.
Yeah,
That's just my opinion on it.
I mean,
everybody's got their own take. I don't want to argue with anybody about it, but it's just my take on it.
I think it's like amazing how we have the solution to put an end to this fucking pandemic, and
nobody wants to.
People are just being fucking ignorant and just resisting, while there's other countries that are
dying to get this figured out.
Yes, they are in way worse shape than us. Are desperate for this vaccine. They want it. To save some lives.
Yeah,
and
people fly to this country to get vaccinated. By the way.
And here we are taking it for granted. No, that's true, because I had a friend. She told me her family flew in from Paraguay to visit, and they took advantage that our country has a good supply of vaccines, and they got vaccinated here. Because over there in Paraguay, there's not a huge supply of vaccines.
They were sticking water into people's arms. Do you know that in South America?
Really?
It's a lie to people tell them that they're getting the vaccine. I don't know.
That's kind of fucked up. That's very fucked up.
Yep. But that's the world we live in, man. You know?
Yeah, there's people afraid that they're going to get tracked with this vaccine, but we're already being fucking tracked with our phones. I mentioned this in 3 episodes ago it was. You know, our phones, our wallets, not our wallets, our credit cards.
When you go out, anywhere you go, there's cameras. If they want to find you, they'll find you.
Cameras, your credit card transactions, there are many ways to be tracked.
But the mandate, I think, will work.
It is working. Like there's so many people.
I saw people lose their jobs this week.
Yeah, I saw,
like up close. I've seen it.
I've had.
It's kind of crazy. I'm like, wow, like these guys, and I've caught people, not me, but I've seen people get caught with fake vaccine cards going to work, and they were told like, hey, listen, this is fake. You can't work here.
Damn.
And they got sent home, and it's just like
at your job, you saw this.
Yeah.
Wow.
2 people.
I've had 2 coworkers just lose their jobs because they refuse to get their vaccines. I guess I don't know. I guess I can respect them sticking to their beliefs, But then again, I mean,
I respect everybody's beliefs.
But in this case, it's not worth you losing your job. Like one of these coworkers who lost their job. He has a kid, and you're like, you're really gonna lose.
Like you got to pay the bills, man. You got to get to work.
Well, I mean, I guess there's other ways to make money, to be honest. But
of course, but that's a whole process now. You have to leave this job and look for work, and then start training at this job, and then hope that another serious type of mandate doesn't go into effect. Because what if that happens? People don't think of those other
Shouldn't
things.
go into detail about my coworkers. I don't know if they watch
But-
much. I don't know if they watch this. But
Well, we're just speaking the truth, you
we're
know.
just speaking truth.
Less
Yeah.
life. That's what we do here.
But I mean, when it comes to my coworkers, at least I mean the ones who don't want to get vaccinated I guess they made sure to have contingencies.
So all my friends watching this that aren't vaccinated, I have nothing against you. Still got a lot of love for you. Just do the right thing.
Yeah, nothing against you, and
Just like at least wear your mask and be smart when you go out. That's all I'm gonna say. You know, I'm not here to tell you to. I don't agree with forcing people to get vaccinated. Though.
Oh, no, of course not.
I've repeated that, and I'll repeat it myself again because I've mentioned it in the past. But I'm not for that. That's not cool. I'm not for requiring it to go out to eat and all that. But of course, don't forget going to the gym, eating out. It's a privilege. People don't look at that.
But I do agree, like it required for schools and stuff like that, because you know it's been like that for a while. Like when
since we were babies,
for schools and work, you always had to provide immunization records, make sure you have these shots. I had to do it last year to go into school, so I feel like if they stop using the language vaccine passports, if people would think of it differently. If people would just say immunization records, just like how it's always been, I think people would be less pissed off.
So you think it's about the way it's worded?
Yes,
especially today with social media.
Partially.
I get
Partially.
that. I agree with you there. But we're not the only state dealing with some crazy shit. I have friends out in Texas that are dealing with some crazy shit right now that I talk to every day. Shout out B and H. I'm not gonna say their names, but yeah, they live in Texas, and a couple of crazy things happened. I know a lot of people keep up with it because of social media, and I'm gonna diss all you overnight activists out there because y'all don't even talk about it anymore. The gun law. Did you hear about that?
The Texas gun law?
Yeah.
What about
So you can carry a weapon on you without a permit or a license, I believe now.
That's extremely dangerous. It's so dangerous.
Yeah, and I'm for owning your own weapon
But
as long as you are licensed to, but leaving it at home, of course. You know, for protection purposes.
I feel like a guy like you and me, there's no need for us to have like assault rifles, and
that's another thing. Like, what type of weapon can you have at home?
I would say
because
like,
my thing is
I would
this.
say like a pistol, most a shotgun.
Because my thing is this: if I'm home and I'm getting robbed and I have kids or a
You
baby,
need that pump action.
like this ain't Resident Evil or a Call of Duty, but let's be real. If you need to protect yourself, you can't wait on the police. You can't wait for help to come. You can't wait for somebody else to save your life. Sometimes you have to protect yourself. So I'm for owning a weapon as long as it's licensed in your home so you can use it for self-defense purposes. Fair?
Yeah.
Whether you agree with me or not, I think that's fair. It's just my opinion. But like with them carrying weapons outdoors, this is a wild, wild west we're talking about now. Like this
Like
shit
when
is
you
crazy.
shoot somebody and then go get a drink at the bar.
Like one of
Texas.
my friends were saying, like somebody was flexing their gun at the grocery store, and I'm just like, I mean, I wouldn't feel 100% safe. I mean, of course, I'm gonna mind my business. You know, I try to do that with everything, but at a certain point, it's like, yo, like you never know if somebody's just gonna walk around and start
blasting.
Exactly, like blasting away like a Clint Eastwood movie. You know, this shit's crazy. But on top of that, that's one thing in Texas. But the abortion laws.
Oh shit! Those abortion laws are just wild.
See, and you forgot about that. I mentioned Texas again. I'm calling out all you overnight activists because you post about it for a week or two, or maybe a week max. Shout out Kev, you know, shout out Very Rare Kev, always staying on it because he always posts about it and talks about it.
Of course,
but
he's consistent with his
because he cares. But you know, you're taking away the rights of a woman, and these laws are being made by old white men, and it's just fucked up.
And when it comes to that, they use religion as a basis, but they forget that this country has been founded on the idea that you gotta separate religion from state. You cannot make laws based on religion. You can make laws to protect religion.
Yes.
But you can't make laws based on your religious beliefs, and I feel like people forget that shit. So when it comes to things like abortion, and people use religion as their basis to defend their viewpoints, I feel like their argument is already invalid because when it comes to law, when it comes to making laws, you can't base
Pulling
it on
this up
religion.
right now.
I feel like I'm being redundant right now, but I mean that's just how it is. If you use religion to defend your beliefs on abortion in terms of it being law, your argument's already invalid. If you're just talking about moral, we're talking about it in a sense of morale. I guess you can use religion as a basis. When it comes to it being law, you can't use religion as a reason.
Or
I was trying to find a more sophisticated word. But
I think we'll understand where you're going with
yeah,
it.
I don't know
But
if
the
I'm
thing
being
with
redundant right now, but
the thing is, like, so I'm looking this up. It's like, is the law a complete ban on abortion? But it says only once cardiac activity can be detected in the embryo. But that happens on the 6th week of pregnancy. When you find out, well, not you, when a woman finds out she's pregnant, usually it's when?
probably around the 3rd or 4th week. Right?
No. If a woman doesn't
God.
track her period, they usually find out after a month. So they're on the verge of like.
Damn, I
that's-
was way off. People
but-
are gonna shit on me for that.
No, but it's fine. But it's because you never dealt with that situation.
I have
You
not, no.
don't shit on him if he doesn't know. Like, we're here to learn and talk.
I'm lucky enough to not have been in that situation, I guess.
My point is this: you have pretty much a very thin line of time to go get this pregnancy test if you think you're pregnant and act accordingly. That's not right. It's not right at all. You know, they have no time to make a decision with their lives and what they're gonna do with, you know, with the situation.
They think that this is gonna stop. It's not, bro. Like people can drive to other states. It was literally a basis of a whole movie I saw last year where, trying to remember the name of this film. It's on HBO Max. Fuck. Can't remember the name. But the basis is that this girl gets pregnant. She wants to get an abortion. I believe the law is that the law there is that you need a parent's permission because she was a teenager.
She was young. Okay.
She was a teenager. So you need a parent's permission to get this abortion. She did not want to tell her parents, so she takes a road trip. I forgot which state it was. They take a whole road trip to another state so she can get an abortion. So it was kind of like a road comedy type movie.
Yeah. So like, okay, so there was humor behind it.
Yeah, it was a good.
But there's no humor here with these.
No.
Laws,
I'm saying, but like that's an example.
It's
that
gonna
people-
happen more often,
Yeah,
is what you're
people
saying.
can literally drive to other states to get it done. I'm gonna try to look up the name of this film because it was a good film. I would
I
recommend
have it
people
right
watch
here.
it.
What was it called?
I can't remember the name. It's on HBO Max. It is an HBO Max original.
Okay.
HBO Max.
But yeah, that's definitely going to happen more often. We're going to see if it goes into effect. That is right, which it's supposed
hasn't?
to be. I think they're trying to fight it. I don't know what exactly. I have to look it up more.
I can
But,
see it being overturned.
But yeah, but who knows now? Look at the year we're in. Look at the crazy shit that's going on.
Let's see.
But I do believe that we're gonna see like that situation in that movie. We're gonna see that happen a lot. Like people going to other.
I'm trying to find.
Don't even worry about it, bro.
Found it. It's called Unpregnant.
Unpregnant.
I remember it having a better title than that.
Is there a famous like A-lister in there? Or?
Let's see. Giancarlo Esposito had played
Okay,
a
that's fair.
small
No,
part.
no, that's
Gus
fair.
Fring of Breaking Bad. He had a small
Yes,
part in
of
that
course.
movie.
Breaking Bad.
Breaking
Of course,
Bad,
I know who that is.
another great television series.
Yes.
I can go into detail
Classic.
about that, but I don't think we should.
You'll get lost in the sauce with that.
My quick assessment of that show is like it starts off like really slow paced and then shit gets real over time. Like that final season is when shit like hits the fan. Like,
I never finished it.
really,
I got to the final season, and I
dude,
never
that's when
finished
shit
it.
gets real crazy.
I know. I just never finished it. I got to the
You-
final
you-
season and never finished it. I'll finish it one day.
You should.
I heard what happens at the end, but I don't want to know. Like, just stop. I hate when people like spoil shit for me. Like, let me figure it out on my own. Don't do it. You have that face. So New York and Texas going through some crazy shit right now.
Yeah.
It's sad, but hopefully we all recover
I mean, this whole
and we figure everything out.
this vaccine mandate isn't that as bad. You know, it's not. It's a lot worse can happen, to be honest.
You know what the crazy shit is?
I think it's temporary.
So check this out with the mandate. You would think with the mandate, people would want to be indoors more.
Indoors.
What did you think?
No, man. If you limit people's freedom.
No, if you're vaccinated
Uh-huh.
and you go out to eat, what would you assume the guests would do?
I don't know.
They'd want to sit inside because everybody's vaccinated.
Yeah.
People still don't want to sit inside, man.
Really?
I'm seeing it happen. People want to stay outside. People are really freaked out still about COVID in the city, especially in New York City, like Manhattan. People are really freaked out. They don't want to sit inside anywhere, even if they're vaccinated.
Interesting.
See? And we live in the same state. We live in the same city, but like Manhattan and Queens, like a few miles away from
I was just
it's
wondering,
crazy.
man, if you're like a server at a restaurant and you're not vaccinated, does that mean you can only work in the outdoor area? Like, is there a loophole?
I'm not sure. Maybe you should
Because my job doesn't have outdoor seating, so all of us would have to be vaccinated. But if you're unvaccinated, then can you work on the outside section?
That's a good question. I'm sure.
And I know if you're unvaccinated, you can still go out to eat. Unless you just have to sit
say no. I'm gonna say no.
outside.
I'm gonna answer no because as a worker, you have to go inside and do things inside.
That's
so
true.
that's probably.
But as a patron, you can still be unvaccinated and sit outside. No.
Yes, that's fine.
Yeah. So
You can't. You just can't go indoors like gyms, bowling alleys, movies. They dubbed my friend at the movies. Yeah, you can't do anything.
I actually have a funny story about the movies. Before, September 13th was the date for like everyone to enforce it.
Yeah.
And September opening night of Shang-Chi, I go with two of my boys, Brandon and his brother Rich, to see Shang-Chi. We were at the Lincoln Square. So, I love I think they have the best IMAX. But that's not the point. So at the door it says they're checking vaccination cards. And I was like, oh shit. And then my boy Brandon's like, wait, I thought that was September 13th. I'm like, yeah, but they can still
ask for it.
They can still ask for it if they want to.
They can start doing it, yeah.
They can start doing it. So I tell them, I was like to them both, I was like, here guys, take a picture. And here, I'm going to send you a picture of my vaccine card.
Wow, Kenny.
I sent it to both of them, right? And I didn't think they would fucking look at the name either.
But they did.
So all three of us go to the same guy checking the tickets back to back to back at the same time. And then the guy's like, so all three of you are named Kenny Ramirez? And then my boy Brad is just like, Brad just looks at the guy. He goes, nope, and walks away. And then his brother's like, nah, and walks away. And he's just like, okay, guys, just make sure you're vaccinated by September 13th.
And they let him in.
Yeah, they let us in. It's funny because as we were going, Lincoln Square Theater has these big fucking escalators.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I was like, yo, imagine they go, so all three of you are named Kenny Ramirez. And we're just like thinking, what should we say if that happens?
Yeah.
And then
just lie.
they were gonna say, oh, her mother is not very good with names or whatever, but they didn't say that. But like, I was like, shit. And
Nope.
Brandon's brother's Rich is like, yo, bro, like I even zoomed into the dates so they don't see the name.
And they still knew it.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy.
So yeah,
That's funny.
shit like that don't work.
Yeah.
I just confessed to a crime, I think.
You just snitched on yourself.
Shit. Well,
Well, those are our stories for this mandate so far. Let's see where it goes. Let us know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and
follow on Instagram.
Again, shout out to everybody who was involved in 9/11, all the firefighters, first responders,
people
policemen.
lost their lives. People were there to witness it.
Started off pretty slow on that, and it was definitely like touching for us right now. But
you
thank you
can't help
in.
but reminisce. Like
it was crazy. It was crazy.
Said if you were in the five boroughs,
Texas, fix your shit, man. For real, fix your shit, bro.
Texas,
fucking Wild Wild West. All right, everybody. Thank you.
keep it sexy, guys. Keep it sexy. Less life. Keep it sexy.
Do you know that every day you wake up, you lost another day? I don't know about you. I'm not going to waste my time. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to listen to the Less Life podcast. And then I'm going to get out there and make it happen.